we do not write off cars.
Yeah, this because the battery died.
Or because there have been accidents.
Yeah.
Or you have been in an accident. I mean, after an accident, you actually transported to hospital in a car. But we won't, you won't cancel cars at that moment.
Yeah.
So why do we cancel all female friendships because of one problematic one?
How long have you guys been friends?
Well, started, we know who's going to lead what songs, and then towards the end, we just start to see them giving like 3 of the main songs, Alto Miracle, to lead. I said, but I think I know her from school. I think we were in school together.
This is a video that I've wanted to do for the longest time. I think I wrote this topic down in September 2023, and it's happening in June. On set with me is the beautiful Miracle and the beautiful DJ. We are going to have a fantastic conversation on female friendships, Christianity, and everything in between. Guys, welcome to the channel.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Interesting. Have you ever been the ones being asked?
This is the first.
Yeah.
This is the first time, so it's exciting and also nervous.
You could get used to this.
Yeah.
Let's see by the end of this.
Yeah.
So I just said your names. Is there anything else you'd want those guys to know?
You go, no, just
We're not going to do this.
okay, cool, because that happens a lot. My name is Hush. I'm married, legally. So my wife, a DJ, a podcaster with my beautiful co-host over there. We do the Down and Up podcast. I do so many other things. I'm trying to get everything together. I am a radio host as well. Yeah, I'll stop right there.
She's a dope DJ.
Hey,
Very critical.
thank you.
My name is Mbithi. I love the Lord Jesus. Yeah, I'm born again. I am a journalist by profession and I speak for a living. So I'm a radio host. I'm a podcaster. I do events emceeing as well. My goodness,
Voiceover.
voiceover. Yes, I do voiceover.
Imagine. Not starting there.
My goodness. Yeah, I also sing, not for a living, but yeah, I love to lead worship and the church that we go to. What else? I'm a firstborn
Girl.
so deputy parent at all times. Yeah. And I love Jesus. Yes. And I'm also Kenyan, but I've grown up in Uganda. However, he tried to speak to me in Uganda.
You can understand.
To a certain extent.
Just thank you for not telling me like
To a certain extent. Like
You can get the flow.
I can get a border. I can begin with a border guy.
In Luganda. In English, and he responds in Luganda.
Beyond Mutwalo. When if he says anything beyond Mutwalo,
You're feeling.
like, I don't know where to start. Yeah. So that's really me.
Amazing.
Not yet married. Not yet.
yet.
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you guys been friends?
Well, but do you remember when we?
So there's I don't know how to answer this question well because we have known of each other for a long time, but I think we've been like good friends for maybe 5 years now.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Maybe
Because
5 years.
2019, I think that is around the time where we probably started having like actual conversations. and
Yeah.
whatnot. We
being
were in
around the
school
same spaces.
together for a very
Short time.
short time. Then she came into. Let me tell this story.
Please.
So we're at church, and then there's this like production that normally happens that involves, I think, like high schoolers all the way till Essex vacists. Yeah. So people are singing, and we're like so certain we know who's going to lead what songs, and then towards the end, we just start to see them giving like 3 of the main songs, Alto Miracle, to lead. I said,
Who
think
is
I
this
knew-
chick?
I think I know her from school. I think we were in school together. So everyone's trying to figure out, but who is this? Me, other guys, me, I was in school with her. Me, I
I know her.
Yeah, if you want, like, talk to me. So anyway, so yeah, we didn't really talk in that season, but like I was busy telling for me, I know her, as if. But anyway, now I know
You
her.
know for sure.
Yeah,
For real.
And what I do remember about when we actually became friends was beginning of 2020, just before we went into the whole COVID thing. MOF camp, the youth camp at church. We were both facilitators and we somehow ended up in the same room.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So that was the time we had many conversations, and you know how ladies can easily bond over
Any.
any shared
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah.
So I think that if I remember well, that's when more conversations started to happen.
Yeah. Wow. You know, female friendships get the bad rep.
Yeah.
Girls can't be friends. They're not genuine with each other.
Yeah.
Or at some point, there's going to be drama. They're going to break up. Have you guys had any of those tough moments in your friendship? And how have you? Are you ready to share it?
Well, truthfully, I don't think we've had like a major thing yet. But okay.
Anti friendship breakup. What?
Yeah, no, not yet. Yet, not that I'm expecting it, but like we are trying to do right by each other. Yeah. I think if I think about like toughest,
Like tough conversation.
yeah. So I can't get into details on the what, but I remember having a certain season where I felt like I needed to speak to her about something. Like I just felt like I think she might need to tone it down a bit. Like it's kinda not giving, yeah. And I felt like if I didn't say it and she maybe found out from someone else, it would be fake when you know those things where you break up with a guy and then sure they're bad guys. You break up with a guy and then someone is like, yeah, Kala, I knew the whole time that guy was so fake. What?
I was waiting for you to break up with him.
So your friend is looking at you like,
You knew the
Really?
whole time and you said nah.
yeah. Or like there's this whole like a story going around and even you receive it, somebody like, I want to say it. Yeah. Then one day she's like, by the way, people said this and this. And you're like, yeah, even me. Anyway, like 6 months ago, I knew. Yeah. So I think that has been like the toughest thing of being able to bring myself to find the English, to find the perfect time, to find, I know that it was like life changing information, just, you know, you always laugh with someone, you chill with someone, and now you need to have
A difficult
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah. So,
I had one of those this year with one of my closest friends in Jan. Guys, it was hard. For me, it was life changing. It was hard. But I think it was from both sides. We both had to have a tough conversation. There was a lot of noise in our friendship, and that was affecting how we were relating with one another. There was a lot of tears in restaurants. The patio had seen our tears.
everyone do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just had to get to a place where we consciously realized the value of our friendship and the things that were hurting it, the things that were allowing to hurt that friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness. I'm personally not a confrontational person.
True.
You
You are?
I look in the face of danger.
We need to
And I
sit
go
with you
running.
after,
Yeah, we need
and then you tell us.
I feel like
It's difficult. It's difficult to have the tough conversations, but I feel like for me, it's more difficult to not have it.
them.
Crazy.
Now I find it way easier to
Not have
just sit with myself and give probably excuses for that person. If
Yeah.
mine,
And lean
and
on.
then tell myself that, you know what, it's not the worst that can happen to me.
But
I
the
can
whole time
manage.
she's telling herself she's the reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I did something wrong.
My
that's
sister does that.
yeah. I struggle with that. I really do.
So how were you when she had that tough conversation with you?
I don't know if you even remember.
I think I do. Was it the time we went out for lunch with another friend?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I think I.
And it was Women's Day.
It was
Well, we do.
I know. It was, first of all, it was random plots.
Yeah.
There's usually this
You had a
Talking
plan
event?
the conversation.
Yeah. No.
Oh, yeah. Went at that. And then we thought, you know what, guys, that they're still young. Let's not treat
Yeah.
ourselves women's game. And we go out, and then tough conversations start to happen. And so I think I know one of my strengths is I am very receptive to correction. So when someone will
Yeah.
tell me something, even if I don't agree with it in the moment, I will go back and think about it. I'll put a mental note and be like, I don't think I'm like that, but why would they say? Did I do something in the moment? Did I say something unawares?
Yeah.
So it was not, I didn't feel like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to talk to this guy again. No, I didn't feel that way. I think I went home. I went home after and I intentionally prayed about it. And even as they spoke, I could feel like, but the truth is, yeah, I think I was fake. Yeah, so it didn't affect us in any way. Yeah, so I went back in fact, I became more aware of that thing and said, okay, yeah, maybe I need to be more watchful. Yeah.
So essentially, you guys became closer when you're already adults, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's harder to make friends when you're adults.
that's not a lot.
That's it. Oh.
Most of our oldest friends or
Yeah.
longest friends are the ones we made in school.
Yeah.
True.
What has made your friendship stand the test of time? 5 years of still going.
Man, and meanwhile, 5 years is long.
And doing a podcast together.
Yeah, like
Doing life literally, because Hush is in my place and I'm in hers
all the time.
all the time.
We work together. We live very
You know, you
close
can
to
work
each other.
together and not be friends.
That's true. Yeah, especially because our
Daisy, how many
generation
times
is
have we
big.
bumped into us together?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. Like just in May, we bumped into you at Serena.
Exactly.
At the collective
Like,
today.
hey, here we are. Yeah. So what I think, okay, I'll say no because with God things are quite certain. Having a very mutual love and respect for God, yeah, and understanding that there's a sense of stewardship about this relationship. So I've had quite a number of friendship breakups. So my heart is very
tender.
yeah. And so I have been in a journey. I still am in a journey or on a journey with God, allowing me to see the valuable relationships in my life and hold them as that. So even when we go through the tough things, unless they're like, I don't know, life changing or like, life changing in a very, very negative way.
Yeah.
I normally the one wants to fight through things. I remember being a little girl and my mom feeling like there's a certain friend who I was always the one giving, you know how our parents would say, you're always visiting, why don't they come visit you? And like later on in life, I kind of understood what she meant because that friendship didn't really stand the test of time. I guess our parents are wiser, right? So I think what has helped here is the thing, first of all, that bonded us the most was Jesus is still good.
Yeah.
Because our standing joke was always, we'll be Naku's neighbors in heaven. Yeah. We'll share either
Your
like,
mansions will be.
right next to each other. If not, we might be, roomies. Or I'm in this room, she's in this room, like whatever it's going to be, because we used to agree a lot on so many things. Like I would say something, she's like, yeah. She says, I'm like, oh my goodness, I was thinking that. Yeah, that's what the Holy Spirit is teaching me. Yeah, so truly, that is the first thing that I can think about because there are a number of times Holy Spirit will whisper and say, now, if you don't say what you're feeling,
Then what?
are you being
How
honest?
can we help you?
Are you being genuine? How do you want your friends to be there for you if you will not let them be there?
Wow.
So yeah.
Wow. How do you expect your friends to be there for you if you will not let them in?
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt.
Wow. Same thing, honestly. I wouldn't say anything different. Just being able to have very similar thoughts, very similar conversations. And even the few times we disagree on something, we just always challenge each other in a certain way. So even sometimes she'll say something that I don't agree with, but I'll think, okay, actually, let me go and read more about this, or let me go find out about this, or let me go study the Bible and stuff. So there's just always that constant challenging each other. But also, your Hash is just really funny. Like, I didn't want to have to say this.
Because you're admitting.
Yeah.
Guys,
I'm admitting.
I'm a funny babe.
It's just that's it. Didn't even wait. But yeah, that's just keeps the friendship fun. And yeah, the openness, allowing her. I feel like honestly, Hash holds a lot of my secrets.
She could end you.
So I gotta treat her well.
Hey. Yeah. But the same really. Yeah, there are quite a number of stories if they ever
Came out.
Someone else knew them.
oh gosh, but I think there's also intentionality. And I only started to notice that last year. For me, one of the things that helped me through last year's stuff for me, my friends having their presence, knowing that I can call up somebody and they will be there. They like regardless of the time, someone is willing to drop everything and come. Yeah, and so that intentionality in our friendship will hang out. We will talk. We will send long audios. We don't just podcast. We also
Actually, it's that
in the DMs.
Yeah.
Yes. So there'll be like some 7
Like,
minutes.
let's put this voice note.
Well, that yeah. So yeah. So I just staying in touch and doing life together. Yeah. And ensuring that every step of the journey, the other person is involved. She was among the first people I told I was engaged. It wasn't like public. She was losing her mind in a restaurant. My friend, if we ask you what's happening, what will you say? Yeah.
We'll be up to there.
Yeah. So just ensuring that at every single milestone,
You do life together.
yeah, the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah. America is one of my
nice.
mother's babies.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
She
Yeah.
adopted you.
Yeah. But the same is also true. Because when her mom finds me, oh, Maggie, how are you? Like, so, yeah.
I'm sure anybody knows that you were Maggie.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, would you look at that?
Yeah. I like that you mentioned the engagement.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a big rep on once you get married, drop the single friends. How did
I
that?
wish I could roll my eyes hard.
That jazz.
Yeah. I just don't know how to roll them. Yeah. But
Interesting fact. I feel that we got much closer after she got married.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Let's just say I've never felt a way about going to her house.
That's
That
true.
feels like a sad
No. It's never felt that way. But also I know she's been intentional about keeping her friends close because in our friendship circle, she's been among the first to get married. Among? You are the first. We say that one. Come to think of it. Yeah. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, she's actually been very, very intentional about keeping us close. So we've never felt weird about just
Like, we
showing
can't
up
call
at her
Tash
home.
right now.
Yeah, I mean, we shamelessly call at midnight.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's husband. Apologize. But yeah, it never felt like changing season, so different person. And yeah, which I'm grateful to her for, because if she had decided that, all right, guys, you single heartbroken young girl,
I don't want to know you.
nothing
I don't want to
to-
hang out with you.
you're going to encourage me to say men are trash and then I submit to my husband. If she had done that, because honestly, at the time she got married, slightly after she got married.
How long has it been since you got married?
It will be 3 years in September.
Yeah, you have cooked.
Yeah, I have. Like the food is cooking even now.
Shortly after she got married, I went through a breakup. And I think she had every reason at that time to be like, Mommy,
I'm
the
sorry.
little
Yeah,
girl,
you see, like you're not even understanding me. Like you can't even keep a man,
can
like
I
a boyfriend.
Yeah, so I feel like that would have been a very good time for her to be like, girl,
Yeah.
I'm out.
yeah. But it didn't happen. And so I would say, I want to ask her, why did you decide that? Because I'm sure you got that advice.
Yeah.
Keep your
You
single
did?
friends.
Hey.
What does it sound like when someone is telling you that?
So, first of all, the single girls, they're going to want to party late. That's why my friends don't party. And then
Homebodies at 9
some,
p.m.
some,
You're home.
some of your friends, might steal your man. Man,
It's unstealable.
is he a bag? Is it a phone?
That you can just grab.
Like they're just going to pick it and run. Yeah. And for some of the people that spoke, you could tell that intention was good, but delivery and their choice of execution really was not. Yeah. And for me, having known my friend circle, I knew that these are healthy friendships that if anything, I need them now more than ever. Yeah. Considering I was crossing onto the other side by myself. Now, if they told me to leave all your single
Literally
friends,
will just live with your husband.
me and my
Only,
husband.
Yeah.
And Daisy, that like the men can't go with us for shopping. They will not sit with
There are
us to
things
cry
they will
all the
like,
time.
babe,
You
how do I
get,
look
like,
good?
Yeah. Meanwhile, your
I
hair
break down.
you
is coming
get-
off on one side.
Right?
like, yeah, but I needed my girlfriends. I mean, someone once said actually on Twitter, you need them to show up for the bridal shower, to buy the dresses, to give you gifts. But it's at the friendship point where you draw the line. After marriage, you're like,
marriage. You've done your part.
yeah, I just needed you for the dress, the gift, and that contribution. That's not fair. Yeah, because they had not done anything to deserve stay away
The
from me.
distancing.
Yeah. And for me, my friends have actually, I don't know how to even put it, knowing that people are supporting you, cheering you on, are like, yeah, you can do this. Oh, your marriage is so beautiful. I'm like, hey, it is. Thanks, guys. Yeah. And for me, they're such cheerleaders. They are a support system. My husband can't be my everything. Lyrics sound nice. You're singing my one and everything. Like, oh, and yeah. Hey, in fact, it is only Jesus, the lover of my soul. Yeah. So I really needed the balance. Yeah. And not that I have just single friends, because married can now be in the comments like, but now is that healthy? Like,
Please, she has both married and
I
single
do,
friends.
yes, because along the way, a number of my friends have gotten married, but I also have older ladies in my life who are married. And so the balance, come on. If I never had any married friends in my single season, maybe I would have never been inspired to get married, or even have seen how to do marriage, or even just have seen how to balance life.
Yeah.
Because on the married side of things, there's so many balls you juggle. This and that and that. So hey, I'm cutting off good people for no reason. Yeah.
And I'm very thankful that she thought that way, because her allowing us to be in her space as a married woman, a married girl.
Girl.
She's a little girl.
Yeah.
But anyway, as a married lady, has allowed us to see what a functional young marriage looks like, and has inspired us and has challenged us. What you all don't know is Hush and her husband are like prayer warriors. They're serious.
They're
Kingdom.
my husband.
They're serious kingdom agents. And so just seeing that has inspired us to know that, you know what?
Yeah.
You can get married, yeah? You can enjoy it.
Yeah.
You can please the Lord while at it.
Yeah.
And if she had pushed us away, who knows where we'll be probably thinking.
Like, I don't want to get into that thing that's going to make me lose
Yes.
friends. So we're Christians.
Yeah.
And we relate with all kinds of people. So that Christians are those who are on the way.
Yeah.
Amen. That's that's a very good way to put it. I need to adopt that.
So have you experienced a friendship where you see your friend making the wrong choice? They're close to you, but you have God is telling you, please help this person. Because these days we conform a lot, just to be accepted, so this person can still be your friend. Because once you say something, you're going to be out. So how do you have those conversations? How do you strike that balance?
I met a love. Let me let her go first. Maybe hers have been successful.
So, wow. First of all, I thank God so much that ever since I became very serious about my faith, it's one thing I'm not shy about. And I am not shy about my principles, about the things I can and cannot do. Of course, I have made many mistakes, and sometimes I feel like, but no one's watching. Let's do this.
Yeah.
But generally, I am very loud about my faith. And so that happens with my friends as well. Yes, there are times that I've had friends, and I have friends that don't believe the same or believe in God, but they're not that firm about their convictions and stuff. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not quite the confrontation baby. But I have come to learn how much prayer works and how much it can change things. I have a friend, she's still my friend, well, a couple of years back, we'd come from high school together. We both loved the Lord. And then when we got into uni, she seemed to be exploring
Other options.
to see what life outside looks like. Yeah. And it bothered me for a bit. And sometimes I would tell her that I'd just be like, but you're better than that. Yeah. I think you know better. But I quickly understood that while, I am speaking, I think there's certain points where only the Holy Spirit can minister something to the heart of a person and capture them back. And so I started to intentionally pray for her and a group of other friends of mine. At church, they give us this whole focus 10 card. And I wrote down their names and I started to pray for them. And for a number of years, I was not seeing anything.
You're like, God, when?
Yeah. And there were actually seasons of just separation where we were not, because I didn't agree with their lifestyle. They felt weird about mine. We're not in the same space as much. And that ended up affecting our friendship. We're not talking as much. Random, oh, hi, you bump into each other on the street and this feels like a new person. Wow. But even in those times, God kept on giving me a burden to pray for them. Two of them have since recommitted their lives to Jesus. And it's beautiful to connect with them again. Yeah, so from my experience, prayer really works. I think one other weird fact about me is it a fact? But yeah, is it weird? Is it strange? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what adjective to use for it. But the few times I'm able to open up and speak against something, I can be very brutal. My tongue can be a little sharp.
Wow. I can't see that.
I don't know if Hash has seen it, but
I'm choosing peace.
But yes, I think that's another thing that sometimes keeps me from speaking, because I can really just say what I think and quickly tell me how you're going, but that's it. So I've also learned in some of these instances to go to God and say, God, do you need me to speak? Do you need me to pray? Because I may not be the laborer that's going to grow their hands. I might be the one that ends up pushing them further because of how I have delivered my message, which is honestly coming from a place of love.
Because I'm not delivering it
in a loving way. So I have learned to go to God and ask, what am I supposed to do here? Do I pray alone? Because of course prayer is constant. You won't, even if you're sent to speak, you still have to pray. But is my place only to pray? Or do I have to speak to them? And if I have to speak to them, what do I say? And is there something else I need to understand? Because some people are living certain lifestyles because of what they have gone through. They're not exploring life because they think, oh yeah, there's no God. But genuinely, they have trauma, they have issues. And so sometimes I'll ask God, is there something behind the thing? Is it abuse they have dealt with before? And so they're feeling like, maybe I should find solace elsewhere. So allowing the Holy Spirit to guide me on how to deal with different friends has kind of helped. Now, of course, there are many of them who we've been praying for years. We've not yet seen the results, but I'm very confident in the fact that God is at work and God will meet them. My constant prayer is God preserve their lives, even while they go out and do all these different things. Preserve their lives, but allow them experience the emptiness that comes from it. And in that emptiness, may they remember that there's a God who can fill me up. There's a portion of scripture in the book of Hosea that inspires me a lot. When God is telling Hosea, and of course he has given him this whole picture by asking him to marry a woman of whoredom. And then he tells, it's a picture of really his own relationship, God's relationship with the children of Israel. And he says, I will allow them to whore after their idols until they're so empty. Paraphrasing, it's in Hosea. I'll allow them to whore after their idols until they feel so empty. They meet obstacles along the way, and then they will remember that while we were still with our God, we were filled. There was food for us. He gave us manna. They will remember who their God was, and they will come back. And so that's my constant prayer for my friends, that even as they go around doing whatever they need to do, so I've just remembered a verse I read this week actually in the book of Jeremiah. May their backsliding chastise them. In that going after things, may they find so much emptiness, so much, or so many obstacles until they remember that, you know what? I think there's a life
such a heartful prayer. That's such a hard prayer.
It is.
When you're speaking, I thought I'm going to ask both of you. Imagine, like now in your friend circle, your Christian girls one, they're looking at Hush, they admire that you are married, so they also desire to get married. And then there's this one person who shows up, nice gentleman, and tall, dark, and handsome, like he ticks all the boxes, except that his belief system,
even Egypt.
And she's smitten. She wants to get married. He has proposed. He comes from a good family.
Hey, you've even reached the proposal.
Like the wedding is happening. And she wants you to be her maid of honor.
I feel a headache. Do you know I can see the headache on that day? I'm unavailable. Anyway, no. This is interesting because in a recent scenario, I thought that someone was going to ask me to witness to their union, and I was not very
comfortable.
Yes. I prayed to Jesus, please
help me say no.
Help me. But everything worked itself out, and I never even came up as an option of what. I said, praise the Lord. So I don't like to pretend. I'm one of those people who has lost a couple of friends because, unfortunately, ask me for my opinion.
You
ask you like 3 times.
Are you sure?
Should I tell you
the whole truth?
And I say, okay, before I give my opinion, maybe let's pray. Let's like you pray and like pray, come back. And I remember even having an incident where someone kept pushing, tell me, just tell me what you think. What have you heard from Jesus? And I also went ahead and like,
good status.
Needless to say, my number no longer does everything on their side. But in a situation like that, I think I would sit with my friend and would have a lengthy conversation, which would end with saying, I love you, and if you insist to go ahead, I will support you. I don't know if that's the right word. Like I will be there.
Be present.
Yeah. But I cannot.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the first person I need to witness to really,
Let's go.
yeah. And my inner witness will not be allowing. Yeah. So, yeah. And I think our generation, actually, I know our generation is afraid to be disliked,
Yep.
to be unfriended, to be blocked, to be unfollowed. Someone's going to hit unsubscribe, like, you know, so many things. But one of the things that I have consistently heard from Holy Spirit is on that day, they won't say no one told them. If you say something, you can easily stop a whole thing. At least you do your part. Yeah. Sometimes it's the same thing. I am allowed to speak. Sometimes it's not my place to speak. It's just my place to pray and hold my friend's hand through the season, and just my presence there on the day when they start to realize they might have questions, and I will be the first person that would be like, hey, but what do you really think? Yeah. So as a generation, let's just be willing to stand for the truth.
Yeah. There's a book I'm reading by John Bevere. I've referenced it in oh no the God. Yeah. And he was saying, like, if you don't have the fear of God, then you have the fear of man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for how long do we answer to man? Yeah. And then I was listening to a podcast, and the gentleman said, you would rather limp, crawl, like on your belly in obedience, than walk majestically in the path of disobedience. Yeah, it's so difficult to walk in obedience. Like, this is your friend, she's moving in with her long-time boyfriend. What would you do?
First of all, no, one of the questions I've started to ask people genuinely who approach me with such things, some friends, some not friends, is, do you love the Lord? Genuinely. Look at your heart and ask yourself, do you love the Lord? Because if you truly love God, there's certain things that are not even debatable. They're not debatable.
Then what table?
There's no table.
There's no table.
So I think there's a major issue that needs to be dealt with before we get to, do you think I should do this? My boyfriend wants, do you think, he said we're going to get married. The first thing is, do you love Jesus? If you love Jesus, there's certain things that you will walk away from because you know who is the Lord of your life. And honestly, if you go ahead and this person has put you on pressure to do something, moving with them, sleep with them, and you are thinking about it, first of all, that person, the word of God, is not their standard. That should be a red flag for you. But if it's not, that means there's something that has shifted in your heart. If you truly loved God and now you're thinking about that, something has shifted in your heart. So that's the first question I ask nowadays. Do you love God? If you stutter while answering that question, that's the first thing you need to go and deal with. Because after you have dealt with that, we won't be asking how far is too far, and won't be asking if I do it, after all, we're going to get married. Really? No. I mean, it's different for you to come and admit that I've been tempted. That's different. That's you saying, I know the truth. I want to walk in the way of the truth, but I am finding it hard in this moment. That's different.
And it's hard. It's hard even when you're a Christian.
Yes, absolutely. We're not saying that we're here. Like just like first we are no, actually, one of the things I love about this friendship is the fact that I can tell her I struggled. The thoughts came in my head. And you know, like I think I might need to be checked on, or I need to be prayed for, or I just need people right now to just call me. And that's because I recognize the fact that I am a weak person. I am my flesh. It didn't get it does not. This flesh is going to fail me, but because I understand the course, please hold me so that I don't fall there. That is different. But you say you're actually considering it, friend.
Let's go back to the basics. Let's, even before we make a decision about this young man, let's check the heart. Where's your heart at as regards to your fear of God?
Wow. You guys have said so many tweetable. As we wrap this up, since you both experienced female friendship heartbreak and female friendships thriving, what is your take on female friendships?
A necessity.
A necessity.
Yeah. I feel weird about ladies. Okay, not weird. Let me be as kind and as gracious as I need to be. Because I know some people actually do say, oh, I can't have girlfriends because girls are don't like, because they've actually gone through painful experiences.
Yeah. That drama is coming from experience.
It is. It is. It's real that some friendships have been dramatic. But we do not write off cars.
Just because the battery died.
Or because there have been accidents. Or
Yeah.
you have been in an accident. I mean, after the accident, you actually transported to hospital in a car. But we won't, you won't cancel cars at that moment. So why do we cancel all female friendships because of one problematic one?
That's such a beautiful analogy. Like, my husband is going to laugh.
Honestly. So if you have been hurt by a female friendship, I sympathize with you. I would say go to God and allow Him to heal your heart. But don't close the door, because you miss out on so many beautiful, beautiful friendships because you're so tired. Please don't let it. But Hush has actually experienced more pain than I have. Tell us, why do you still have female friends?
I'm an okay person.
Why do you still have female friends after all that?
So, what a lot of you might not know is starting out in life, I had more male friendships, more male friends than ladies. And my reasoning was, I don't like drama. I'm okay being one of the guys. Like, being in their space, they are not, they're not inviting
drama.
Like, it's
so
I didn't understand their games. So I can just be there, you guys shout and like that.
Many of their friendships are
Go-
deep.
they're very on the
They don't
surface.
even know each other's second name.
Truly, Chief, my guy.
What?
Yeah, I'm like, hey, the guy.
That's
What?
my guy.
Yeah, G. Like, my friend, what is that? Whole conversation for another day. But after having gone through that, and being encouraged time and again, make a few female friends. Also, growing up, I had attempted to make a female friend. And in a certain phase of my life, there used to be like best friend competitions. You say this is my best friend, then before you know it, you come the next day, you did something wrong, then your best friend has a new best friend.
Oh my God.
So now, like, you have nowhere to sit. As in now your best friend.
Like now you can't sit in.
And for me, I was really done. So I just really swung and just, But the more I grew, I think the first few female friendships I had, I realized, okay, it's not so bad. I mean, we're all a work in progress. It'd be sad if someone canceled me for my very first mistake. So when I started to lean in and I found some healthy friendships as well, I was like, I like this, because here, when I start to talk about like something, it's not straight to solutions. Because like with the guys, it's straight to solutions. That's your fault. That's your like persuade.
It's not emotion.
Or like
let's cry. Let's cry.
Okay, now continue talking.
What do we do next?
And the other thing that really used to bother me with my male friendships was every other day, people are catching feelings. I'm like, I came here to be your sis. But now you're telling me that
I have a crush on you.
Like, now what do we do with that? Like, now where do we go from there? And so being in a space where it was safe and like I can just, be free. And then I'm interacting with people who have like similar things with me. I found more warmth and more belonging on the other side. I still have guy friends, but I have more female friends than male friends. So even with the ones that have failed, I did have a season, one even very recently, where I was like, man, this friendship thing, must I be very deep? Not the pain is always paining. Things are always hurting. And the problem is, not even a problem. It's just the deeper you go, the more you're opening up yourself. Meaning you're more available to pain.
Yes.
I mean, if I told you this hurts me, then maybe you do it one day and you didn't intend it, but it has hurt me. Now we are working through pain. But I wouldn't trade that for anything, because a lot of the times after a tough season in my female friendships, we come out stronger, better. I've been there for my friend, she's been there for me. Maybe I didn't even know the full picture. Maybe she was not kind to me at the time because she was going through her own things. Now I know. Now we are hugging. Now we are praying. Now we are crying. I love it so much. Yeah. And so pain and whatever, I wouldn't trade my female friendships for anything. They've been some of the most life-giving things I've experienced this side of heaven. So for me, female friendships, play if you're a chick and you're still saying girls are dramatic.
But also, I think a lot of people recently on this time I did a Q&A, and there were different people asking, how do I make friends? How do I have new friends? Or I recently would say they don't have friends. If you're in that place where you feel like, I just don't even know how to make friends, how do I get a friend? I would say, pray about it. Sounds cliche, but the weird thing about us believers is if they tell you to pray for your husband, your future husband, you'll pray.
Yeah.
There's a prayed as a 13-year-old.
Right. All of
I mean,
us.
by force.
Yeah.
You get told and you got it.
But how come we think God can answer that prayer?
And what
But for friendship,
is he not the same God that can give
everything,
every single thing? The Bible tells us he's able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all we could ask for, think of, or even imagine. And that, for me, I have seen that in my friendships, because there were times I prayed for good friends, but I would have never imagined the kind of friends God would have brought in my way. If you told me that I'm in S1, I heard about this girl called Maggie, and she was ever dancing. If you told me that years later, a decade later, we're going to be hosting a podcast together, I'd be like, how?
There's
Where?
no way.
But God is able to align you with amazing people, place you in the same space, or cause you guys to meet and do life with amazing people. But you have to ask him, and you have to trust that the same God who can give you a good husband and give you great, amazing friends. So
I think of Proverbs has that verse about a man who has friends must himself be friendly.
Yes.
I'd like to encourage you to shoot your shot. Walk up to somebody, smile. There's that whole situation that people are always talking about for like single people. You're praying for the person, but you're the first to leave church, or you're never out of your own. So like, unveil yourself. Greet somebody if you're in a small group at your church or wherever you are. Say hello. Like, be kind, be nice. Like, talk about the things you're interested in. Those are the things that will actually just spark off. Our friendships didn't start in major like. We sat one day and looked into each other's eyes and said, you're destined for me. It was not Jonathan and David. Trust me. It was like a joke here, what there. Like, and in our generation, the options are vast. I mean, there's even like
DMing.
Yes. And there are people who are telling you that like their friendships have blossomed from, I just hit follow, then I DM'd, then we laughed about a joke. And we've been laughing about jokes for 12 years now. So, be friendly. Be open to it. The pain, it will not stop coming.
I feel like the heartbreak from female friendships is
more painful than the one for romantic.
And yet the weird thing is would be quicker to forgive
a guy
partner,
than
a chick who has maybe not even hurt us to the same magnitude as this person. I wonder why. I just don't know why our hearts do that. But I would also say, ask God to teach you how to be a good friend.
Mm.
Because, as she mentioned, friendships are for stewarding.
Yeah.
You have to put in the work to be a good, present, available friend. You won't always be on the receiving end.
Yeah.
So ask God to teach you how to be a good friend. I mean, I am a work in progress in that area. I feel like sometimes I go before God and I'm like, oh God, I feel like I'm such a bad friend. Why don't I do that? Why did I think of them in this way? But I'm constantly asking God, please help me to be a good friend to this person, or help me to be present. Help me to respond to their texts. Not respond in my mind. And think
the message is down.
Down.
And then, the one time you need them, you look at the next thing.
7 unread. You just like
From 7 months ago. I'm too embarrassed to respond to him.
that.
But I just ask God to help me a good friend. Because if you're faithful with your friendships, they will last.
Thank you, guys. I think in summary, communicate, be open, share similar values, just have the young conversations, pray, and don't compromise your values. Like, as long as your values are God's standard, don't compromise that. Yeah, this has been very edifying. This conversation could have gone
on and on. Like,
I pray that this is healing for everyone that is watching. It's healing for me. To just hear these things, sit back and reevaluate, am I being a good friend? Am I intentional? That's my code, my friend. Have I responded to their messages?
Oh my goodness. Much power, special.
Do let us know what you have learned in the comments, and you can find Hush
at DJ Hush _M on Instagram and Twitter.
Mbithi _M_ on Instagram.
And then the both of them at
Down and Up Podcast.
I will see you next week on Friday. Remember, I am rooting for you.